on Wednesday is what I was going to say. What are you and the guys talking about? No idea. Jenny, I have no clue at any given moment.
It's okay. I had to think about it for a sec, too. I paused. Okay, it's Wednesday. Right. Good morning, Jenna. Good to chat with you guys. Coming up on Undisputed, Tom Brady compared himself to LeBron this week. What does Skip and Shannon think of that comparison? And we've got Baker Mayfield and Juju Smith-Schuster on the show today. I know you guys have a lot of guests, but obviously plenty of drama surrounding those guys and their team, so we're going to get into all of it. Undisputed coming up next. Jenna, back to you.
All right, Jenny, thanks. Time for us to go viral. Lots of Pelicans fans are upset with Anthony Davis for asking for a trade. Usually when this happens, some people burn their jerseys.
Idiot.
Pelicans fan Jim Strickland posted this video with his AD jersey, but instead of lighting it on fire, he decided to write a nice note thanking AD.
So that we've seen, the note there we've seen before. This fella takes a step further.
Oh, don't do that. Man, there are people out there struggling. There are people out there with real conditions, man. Don't be making fun of that, man.
Unibrow is not a condition.
Shh, don't tell me. I'm spending just as much money to keep that thing from connecting. More so that people are going to see doctors and everything. Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Your unibrow prevention.
Hold on.
What? You tell me
your unibrow is your condition.
Well, if I don't go see these people, something comes across there. Don't tell me that's a condition.
Okay.
So
just like if you don't wash your butt, you'll have a condition.
This is how I know now why you are so adamant that Anthony Davis needs to get rid of the unibrow.
Yes.
Because you look at your end-of-year financial statements, and you're like, man, I've spent X amount of dollars to prevent one. Anthony Davis just letting it go, making money off of it.
No, I'm telling you, I can get him an endorsement. European wax.
Yeah,
they're nationally known.
We know that, and you keep mentioning
it.
Right.
I've been to the ones in L.A., too.
So they cut down your bill, which is evidently extravagant.
I got a condition, bro.
So much
Anyone out there with eyebrows like this know that.
Back to football come Sunday. Tom Brady will take the field for his. We know.
Can't tell.
We know. Tom Brady takes the field for his 9th Super Bowl, his 3rd in a row. And for a player as accomplished as he is, you'd think that just getting to this point would be a win at this age. But you would be thinking wrong. Tom Brady gave us a little insight into his wins, his losses, and legacy. Take a listen.
You know, we just realize everything we got to put into it. And I think, you know, if you get to this game and you don't perform your best and you don't perform well enough to win, you kick yourself for the rest of your life. And I don't think anyone wants to go through that. And I think hopefully we learn that lesson, and hopefully that serves as some motivation that the whole point of this week is to win the game. And if you win it, you know, you'll have something to celebrate for the rest of your life. And if you don't, you know, it'll be some mental scar tissue that you have to deal with for the rest of your life.
All right, Cece, so how much will Sunday's game impact Tom Brady's legacy? And whether he wins or loses, will it have an impact on his legacy?
Well, as long as they keep score, it's going to impact it. As long as we keep having shows like this, going to be things that we talk about. To me, as far as him being the greatest quarterback, he won't be able to do anything. When Jerry Rice played football, and people say, man, he was with the Denver Broncos, he was with Seattle. People like, man, I don't want to see Jerry Rice like that. Well, Jerry Rice had played well enough and played so excellent that we didn't mind him playing. He had deserved that because he was that much better than anyone that had played the position.
And he couldn't undo what he had done.
You can't undo that. Tom Brady can't undo being the greatest quarterback. When we talk about legacy, it's going to be how many did he win? How many did he lose? People aren't going to say, well, how many did he participate in? Because he got to 5 quick. Now, say, for instance, this is number 9. If he leaves Atlanta, you tell me the story is the same if he leaves there 5-4 compared to 6-3? It can't be. It can't be the same. I gave you an example earlier of John Elway. John Elway lost his first 3 Super Bowls. Now, he resurrected his overall, what people thought of him, because he ended up winning the 2 in a row.
Right.
That was on a dominant defensive team, a dominant Terrell Davis running team. Jim Kelly couldn't recover. He lost 4 Super Bowls. How people look at their careers is totally different because of, I believe, when you win them and when you lose them. If Tom Brady was not to go to any more Super Bowls and he was to lose the Super Bowl, no, he would still be the GOAT. But at 5-4, I guarantee you, even if the experts, whatever they say, Tom Brady's going to look at it different because he might not be able to recover. Earlier losses in the Super Bowl, he could recover from, and regardless of what we feel, Tom Brady gave us insight. Personally, it will leave a mark on him. So it won't change how I look at him, but 6-3 is significantly better than 5-4.
Okay, so let's get to the scar tissue stuff in a moment. Let's instead talk about Super Bowl record and something I implore the audience to start to understand, and fellow media members. Just like we learned over the last 20 years, deciding how great a pitcher is by just saying how many wins did he have, that's silly because you can allow one run in 9 innings and get a loss. And we have learned better ways to evaluate guys, looking at NBA players by just their counting stats rather than their efficiency numbers. We have better ways to evaluate people. And this thing that the media has just agreed upon, that losses only count against you when you have gotten to the championship round, has to stop. There's just a general consensus that Tom Brady's resume would be more impressive, as currently stands, at 5-0 in the Super Bowl than 5-3 in the Super Bowl. That is so incredibly dumb. So you're telling me it would have been better for Brady to lose to Blake Bortles and the Jacksonville Jaguars last year, because then he's 5-2. Winning that game hurt him. And if he loses this weekend, it would have been better for him to not lead that overtime drive against Kansas City. No. It would have been better for him to, on that first 3rd and 10, throw a pick 6 the other way. And the Chiefs are there, because then at least he's 5-3. Of course, 6-3 is better than 5-4. But 5-4 is better than 5-0. Because it means there were 4 other seasons you won the AFC Championship game. And we see this in basketball. We see it. Joe Montana would have a more impressive resume if he were 4-2 in the Super Bowl instead of 4-0. You know why? Because that means 2 of the years they got bounced early, they would have. The deeper the loss cuts. Like where Tom Brady says, I have mental scar tissue from those 3 losses, I'm sure losing to Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos in the AFC Championship game hurt him. Right. And losing to Peyton Manning and the Indianapolis Colts in the AFC Championship game in 06 hurt him. But the mental scar tissue of getting that close and then losing, he says that's going to stick with him.
Yeah, and I believe that. And playing in 2 NFC Championship games, losing those, I know the effect that it physically had on my body. Forget the emotional part, but the physical attack that I felt that I was under, because it was hard for me to understand working that hard and having nothing to show for it. And my friends that have gone on beyond that and lost in the Super Bowl, Tom Brady gave us insight. There is no losing like losing that Super Bowl game. And Tom Brady, how you think he felt after losing last year after throwing for 500 yards? But in the most critical moment, not being able to secure the ball in the pocket, allowing him to be strip sacked and to recover that fumble. That was the biggest play of the game. So losing those Super Bowls, they do have an impact. To me, the numbers, they do tell a story, but when you get the wins and when you get the losses, because I don't know if Tom Brady is going to be able to recover if he was able to lose this one and having lost 2 and not get back, and his record finished at 5-4.
When you say recover, you don't mean his legacy, you mean personally. You mean that if his final 2 memories of the Super Bowl are 2 losses. And we also have to keep in mind the way Brady has 3 Super Bowl losses. And they never been blown out, obviously. The 07 team, he had a Hail Mary, not on the final play of the game, but a Hail Mary to Randy Moss that was inches away from completion to win. The 2011 team, he had a Hail Mary to Rob Gronkowski that he got his fingers on that didn't come down. And last year, even after the fumble, down just 8, he had another Hail Mary that they got their hands on and didn't come down with. So it's been moments. He doesn't have any Bills Cowboys where the game's over at halftime. Right. And even though it hurts, like it's not one play. All of his losses, I'm sure he thinks back and he's like, if I had done this one thing, If I had the 2011 game, I think it was Wes Welker, that Wes Welker drops the pass, and
yes,
and his wife said he can't pass and catch, but Brady didn't throw a perfect pass. 2007, there were a lot of instances. Last year, the strip sack, where Brady says, "Oh, this one moment," and I'm sure he doesn't.
The play Brandon Cook gets hurt on, he throws the ball behind him. If he throws it in front of him, he keeps running. He don't get hit like that.
And that's the mental scar tissue he's talking about. But win or lose, getting to this game is an enormous accomplishment.
All right, we got to go. We'll